I want to start off by asking all of you a question. Have you ever been at a crossroads in your life? You know that moment where you know there's a choice to make? You can stay on the path that you're on, and it's pretty predictable and it's pretty safe, and you know the expectation, or you can choose a different path. Now, this path might seem scary and fearful and the destination unknown. If you've ever been in that situation, what did you choose? Did you choose to stay where you are? Did you choose the path less taken? This is where I found myself just 5 days before COVID-19 hit. And it really started with a conversation that would change my life. Yet at the time, I didn't know that it was going to change my life. I had a call with my coach and he asked me a question. And the question was, Tina, are you willing to give up your coaching business to join ours to make a bigger impact in the world? I thought, what? Give up my business to join yours? Why would I do that? I'm experiencing so much momentum. And what I realized is what I was doing is I was looking for all the ways that it wasn't going to work. It was too scary. It was too unpredictable. Then I had to get quiet and really ask myself, is this the right thing for me? Now, let me take you back 5 months earlier. 5 months earlier, I was sitting at my computer and I received an email that said, "You're fired." And it was an email from a marketing team that was helping me grow my business. And in that moment, everything came flooding through. All the breakdowns, all the failures, all the upsets in the last 3 years of growing my coaching business, a reality set in that I don't know what I'm doing to grow my business. I know that I'm passionate about coaching. I know that I love helping people and I know that I make a difference, but I am over my head. I don't know how to grow a business. You see, I was very visible online. I did a TED Talk. As Michael was expressing, I had a digital TV show. I was the MC at women's conferences. I was speaking on stages. But that was a lot of smoke and mirrors. In my business, I was not growing. I was not making money. I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to change lives. I wanted to change the world, and I wanted to make money. And I wasn't. And I was really pretending that I was this high-level coach because I knew in my heart I could be, but I didn't know where to find people. I didn't know how to attract clients. And in that moment, when I got that email, I got another message that popped up. And it was from a coach that had been following me for a while and checking in on me. And he said, "Hey, Tina, what's moving? What's shaking?" And in that moment, I really wanted to lie to him. I wanted to say everything was fine, but it wasn't. I wasn't fine. And so I decided to be straight. I said, "Ryan, the truth is, I've been trying to grow my business for the last 3 years. And although I've had a lot of success, I am not creating clients and I'm not creating the impact that I want to make in the world. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I made the wrong choice to leave teaching. I left a $100,000 a year job to follow a purpose and a passion. And here I am, I'm failing." And I said, "I think I need to quit and go back to teaching." It's like, whoa, wait a minute. No, you're not throwing in the towel. He said, "Let's hop on a call." And that call changed my life. In one conversation, I realized what was missing for me. And I'm going to share what that was after in this talk. I'm going to give you the tools that I got, but the results were astounding. When I uncovered what was really in my way, what was really stopping me from growing my business, I took new actions and got new results. And in 10 days, I got my investment back in this high-end coaching program. And in the next 4 months, I generated almost $100,000 in revenue. Now, that was not going to be possible if I didn't discover these tools. But here I was in this conversation with my coach at the end of my program, and he's asking me, "Tina, do you want to quit your coaching program to join ours?" Now, I was at a crossroads. I had been experiencing momentum and success, and I had the tools and the strategies and the confidence to build my business. And now I had to choose, keep doing what I've always done, amplify my results, keep going on with my business, or join a team that is really committed to the same thing that I want, to make a difference in the world, make a huge impact. And I said, yes, I will join your team. Now, I didn't say it right away. I had to sleep on it. I had to think about it. I had to weigh the pros and the cons. But when I had all the information, I made a decision to join their team. And then COVID-19 hit. And as you all know, the pandemic was something that we've never been a part of. We didn't see it coming. We didn't know the expectations. And I see the pandemic now as a lesson and a blessing. See, what I uncovered during the pandemic is the way that I was showing up in the pandemic was how I was showing up in my business. What wasn't working was amplified. It shined a bright light on all the cracks that were already there. And I'm going to give you 3 of my best lessons that I discovered while I was in lockdown like everybody else during the pandemic. Now, the first lesson that I learned is that there are 3 ways that we show up in a crisis. Now, I remember when I was doing my training and development, I had a coach say to me after hearing me complain about things, he said, Tina, you're either a victim or you're responsible, but you can never be both. And at first I took that personally. What are you talking about? Really bad things have happened in my life. I'm not saying I'm a victim. And he said, anytime you blame somebody else or a situation, your lack of results on somebody else, you're being a victim. That resonated with me. And I realized during the pandemic, my initial reaction was to go into victim mode. And that's the first person that kind of shows up in a crisis. Like, I am a victim. Now, the 4 characteristics that show up, I think I went through all of them at some time. And I think maybe you can relate to showing up at certain ways during certain times, but the goal is to kind of get out of that and be aware that you're in that mode. So I showed up as a victim. I really thought, why me? Why is the pandemic happening to me? Why is COVID-19 affecting me? This is unfair. Now notice, did you have those same thoughts? Now, did you sit in those thoughts and look for evidence? Because that's the other thing that we do sometimes when we're in this state. We look for evidence that gets us off the hook for being responsible. And that's what I was doing. When I was playing the poor me, I was off the hook. I wasn't being responsible. But then that little voice said, you can be a victim or responsible. So I got out of that quickly. But the second thing that showed up for me is I really was starting to be a bit of a critic. Now, the critic that shows up is looking at other people and kind of judging them for how they're showing up in their business, especially during COVID-19. My initial reaction was, I can't really share my successes during COVID-19. People are losing their jobs. People are losing their homes. People are losing their livelihood. And I started looking for evidence that this was actually really true. And what I realized is that the opposite was true too. People weren't always losing their jobs, and some people were thriving. But the critic in me found myself judging people. I started judging how they showed up because I thought it's just not right to celebrate successes when people aren't experiencing that. Now I realized I had to shine a mirror and I had to dig deep and see, like, what is really at the source of that? And really my fear was being judged. And so when I was criticizing others or judging others, it was because I was judging myself. I didn't believe that it was okay to share and celebrate my successes. But what I learned is that when I stood up in the face of adversity and I shared, just like Mimi said earlier in her talk, you give other people permission to do the same thing. I was actually, by shining my light, I was able to share with people and give them the courage to do the same. I got to be creative and put that judgmental hat on the back burner. Now notice during the pandemic, did you find yourself judging others that were experiencing success? Were you looking at them and believing that they shouldn't be celebrating. Now, this is not judgmental. This is an opportunity to get curious and really look inside, because one thing that I've learned too is that the more authentic we are, the more we look inside without the judgment, but just real curiosity, and we become aware, we can transform it in a moment. Now, the third type of person that showed up, and I'm saying, when I say person, I mean me, is the turtle. And there were many days where I wanted to stay in bed and hide, because when I was joining this team, we realized those cracks in our system, we had to pivot and turn. We had to quickly act and take new actions. And that was a little scary. We didn't know if it was going to work. We didn't know what was going to be a result of this pandemic. But when I was turtling, when I was hiding, and now not only just staying in bed, but hiding online, again, the fear of being criticized had me playing small. I had to uncover, like, really, what is that? Why am I afraid? Why am I hiding out? What is the underlying belief that I'm holding as a truth? And I was really afraid of judgment. I was afraid of shining a light. Now, remember I told you that I had the biggest breakthrough in my business, that it was a game changer for me? What I realized is that for most of my life, I was playing the turtle. I was hiding out, and my underlying fear was being seen. Now, I had no idea where this came from. And I was on stages and I was talking and sharing, but I wasn't sharing myself. I wasn't sharing my business. It was all superficial. And what I really learned was that in 7th grade, I was bullied. And what the girls said to me, I was the new girl in school, and they said, "Who do you think you are? You think you're so great. You're not, you're nothing. Nobody likes you." I didn't realize that their words became my internal dialogue. So every time I wanted to show up, especially in the face of the crisis, I had this belief that was playing in the background. Who do you think you are? How dare you show up when others are struggling? How dare you share when others are struggling? And I really had to retrain my brain, stop hiding, and show up powerfully. Because for everyone that was struggling, there was also people that were looking for a light. They were looking to not be the victims. They were looking for tools and solutions. And so I stopped hiding. Now, the fourth type of person that shows up is the action taker. And this is not always an easy place to be. This is where leaders truly shine. This is where leaders show up. And notice in your business, were you a leader? Were you the one that took the reins and said, "Listen, yes, this is a pandemic. Yes, there's things that are happening in the world. And yes, this is impacting our business. What can we do about it? How can we take new actions to get new results?" Now, remember, don't judge yourself. However you showed up in the beginning, that's okay. As long as you're aware, you can transform it. Now, the second thing that I learned, the biggest lesson, is that facts tell, stories sell. And what I realized is during the pandemic, I started noticing people were giving information, people were giving strategies and tools, and those were helpful, but they didn't connect with people. And what people really wanted most is that deep connection. They wanted to feel heard. They wanted to feel understood. And they wanted to know, I got you. And the best way, the most effective way to do this was to share what I was going through, to share my experiences, but not only share the experiences, but to also share in a way that taught my lessons, taught what I was teaching people in my program. Now, so many times during the pandemic, people got on a call with me and said, "Tina, I feel like I know you. You know, I give, and then I invite." And when people get on the call with you, when you're, no matter what business you're in, no matter you're a coach or a real estate agent or a salesperson, people are not buying your service. They're buying you. They want to know, do I know you? Do I like you? And do I trust you? And can I relate to you? The best way, the most effective way is for you to share, because inside of that sharing, they see themselves. They now become the hero in your story. They see themselves in your story and they think, man, if you can do it, so can I. And this, I feel like this storytelling marketing is an art. It's so powerful to connect with others, and it's underutilized and highly, highly effective. And this was one of the things that I learned during the pandemic, that I kind of had the skill, but I didn't know how valuable it was until I started sharing my stories of what I was dealing with. And people were like, oh my gosh, thank God, that's me too. Now, the third thing that I learned, and the most important tool and strategy that we use with our clients, is we help them to develop unshakable belief in themselves. Now, when I say unshakable, I mean not the pandemic, not 9/11, not anything that happens in life stops you. You become unstoppable when you believe in yourself, when you believe that everything that happens is a beautiful lesson. It's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to grow. And when I discovered that unshakable belief in myself, only then was I able to give it away to others. Only then was I able to fully step into my power, because I was never at the effect. Now, during the pandemic, when I was wavering between the turtle and the victim and the action taker and the critic, through all of that, what I learned is unshakable belief is the only thing that is going to get you the results that you want in your business. Now, I'm going to break it down. If I had a slideshow presentation, I'd be able to visualize this, but just imagine a pyramid. And at the top of the pyramid, there's the results that you want in your life, in your business, in your health. Now, underneath that is your actions and your mindset. Now, this is where most people tend to focus all their energy, right? If I want to lose weight, all I have to do is exercise more and eat less and have a really great mindset. Now, if that were true, everybody would be getting results. If I want to create more sales, all I have to do is call more people and have a great mindset. If that were true, we would all be creating sales. See, there's a layer underneath that. It's called your views, opinions, and beliefs. Now, your views, opinions, and your beliefs, they become your reality. What you believe, you achieve. If you believe you're already successful, you will achieve success. Now, when you're growing a business, you have lots of limiting beliefs that show up. It's too hard. I can't do this. I'm not a salesperson. I'm not really a coach. I'm a teacher. That was one that was holding me back. I realized that those views, opinions, and beliefs stop you. Now, if you're willing to shift them, you will have all the success that you want. Now, I think I'm over my time, so I'm going to wrap it up quickly. Thanks for the reminder. If you're at a crossroads and you have an opportunity to make a shift, to make a change, it might be scary, but my experience is on the other side of that fear is everything that you truly want in your life and in your business. But you have to be willing to say yes and take new actions, take the path less traveled, and you will be successful and you will have everything that you want. And I believe it, and I believe in you. So thank you